Kia ora koutou, and thank you for joining us today. Welcome to our webinar, Updated Food Importing Notice, Key Changes Explained. My name is Alex, and I'm part of the Food Importer Advice team here at New Zealand Food Safety at the Ministry of Primary Industries. And I'm joined today by our Imported Food Standards team. We have Nicola Dermer, the manager, and Ruben Moyel, senior advisor.
Together, we'll walk you through the updated food notice, what was updated, why it was updated, and how it may impact you as a food importer or business working with food importers.
This webinar is going to introduce key changes to the food notice, how this might impact your business, and what information you should know ahead of implementation. We'll start with a quick introduction of the teams involved, followed by an overview of what has changed and why. Then we'll dive into each of the high regulatory interest foods that have been reviewed, including dried spices, milk and dairy, bivalve molluscan shellfish, or BMS, and BMS products, and lastly, tahini and sesame paste products. From there, we'll outline the key details and summarize the webinar with the key resources available to you. By the end of the session, you'll have an understanding of what has been updated in the new notice and what this means for your business. Today, you are joined by two teams of New Zealand Food Safety. Food Importer Advice is here to help food importers understand and comply with New Zealand's food safety rules for importing. We can help with food importers' queries ranging from registration support through to clearance requirements for imported food.
Also joining today is the Imported Food Standards team. Imported Food Standards leads the development and maintenance of the imported food system, standards, and guidance, ensuring alignment with the Food Act of 2014 and relevant regulations. The development of the food notice is an essential part of this work, and together we will explore what has been changed and updated and why. Before we look at the key updates, it's important to understand what the food notice is. The official title is Food Notice, Requirements for Registered Food Importers and Imported Food for Sale, and this update was released in May 2026. It is a legal document issued under the Food Act of 2014. It sets out the import requirements that must be met for food entering New Zealand. It also identifies imported foods that are classified as High Regulatory Interest, HRI, and Increased Regulatory Interest, of which there are none currently. These foods must meet additional requirements and require food safety clearance to be imported. These requirements are covered in the notice. Please note, this new food notice does not come into effect until 1st of February 2027.
That leads us on to what the differences are between the current 2024 food notice and the new one, and why the changes have been made. On the 1st of May 2026, New Zealand Food Safety issued the updated food notice. This new notice includes new parts for HRI foods, specifically for dried spices, milk and dairy products, bivalve molluscan shellfish or BMS and BMS products, and tahini and sesame paste products. These HRI foods all now have their own parts in the notice, parts 7 through to 10. The main reasons for developing a separate part for each of these HRI foods were clarification of each HRI category by clearly describing which foods are included and excluded from the requirements. We've clarified import requirements by specifying which countries an HRI can be imported from and any country-specific import conditions or requirements. We've clarified the sampling and testing protocols, which you can find out more about in the updated food notice under Schedule 2, Rules on Frequency of Sampling and Testing. And we've realigned requirements with conditions agreed on with exporting countries. These changes were made to improve the clarity and transparency of the requirements and their scope of application, to improve the effectiveness of the import requirements, and to support food safety border clearance. It's important to note that while there is now a lot more information in each part than there was in the 2024 notice, this mostly reflects the operational procedures already in place at the border. There are only a couple of things that have changed from current practices, and we will explain these as we go through the individual foods on the next slides. You may have noticed that there are 6 other HRI foods currently listed in Schedule 1 of the notice that haven't undergone a similar review and are still lacking in clarity and transparency of the requirements. We are planning to carry out similar reviews for these remaining HRIs in the future.
Dried spices HRI definition applies to pepper, chili, and paprika products, which can be found in the food notice under Part 7, Requirements for Imported Dried Spices. The first key update is that the notice now clearly lists which products are covered and not covered by this category. This includes crushed or ground black, white, green, or red pepper, Sichuan pepper, dried chili, dried paprika, and spice mixes that consist entirely of chili, pepper, and/or paprika products. This is followed by another list of products that are excluded, for example, dried bell pepper dices or flakes used as a vegetable. So this gives you more information about what dried spices are included in this HRI and need food safety clearance. It is important to note the inclusions we have listed on the slide are representative and won't include all the products that fall within the HRI category. Check the notice for details or contact us if you're unsure about a particular product. The second key update is that we have included more information about the process of sampling and testing, including the frequency, which is broken down into 3 levels. As mentioned, this is found in Schedule 2 of the Food Notice 2026. In practice, this is unchanged from the current sampling procedures undertaken at the border. This is to provide you with more clarity on what to expect and the conditions that need to be met in order to gain food safety clearance when sampling and testing is required.
Milk and dairy products are the next HRI foods updated in the new notice under Part 8. The first key update is that this HRI now combines the 2 previously separate HRIs for raw milk products and pasteurized fresh cheese, curd cheese, and soft cheese. There are no changes to the applicable products. However, by combining these 2 HRIs, we're providing you with one definitive source. We've also provided a list of which products are included in this HRI, such as raw milk, unpasteurized milk products, and pasteurized cheese. Along with a list of excluded products, this helps provide clarity. Another update is the addition of sampling and testing information, including the process of both sampling and testing and the frequency of sampling levels. Again, in practice, this is unchanged from current sampling procedures undertaken at the border. The last key update is the inclusion of import conditions for specific countries or regions that have an official agreement with New Zealand, such as the United Kingdom and the European Union. This provides more detail on the import conditions.
Bivalve molluscan shellfish, BMS for short, and BMS products are another HRI updated in the new notice under Part 9. The first key update is the notice now clearly describes which products that the HRI applies to and those that it does not apply to. The applicable products include raw, processed, cooked, smoked, and marinated BMS and BMS products, and foods containing BMS and BMS products. This addition provides importers with clearer information on products that require food safety clearance and those that do not. The current notice listed roll-off scallops as an HRI. The new notice now identifies that they no longer are considered an HRI, so long as MPI is provided with documented evidence that they are roll-off. The new notice includes more detail of import conditions for specific countries or regions that have an official agreement with New Zealand, such as the EU. As mentioned earlier, we have updated our requirements to realign with the conditions agreed with these exporting countries. These include removing the sampling and testing option where an official certificate is available for import. This is a key operational change between the current notice and the updated notice, as it means that for most countries, sampling and testing is no longer an option for clearance, and official certificates must be provided. For example, sampling and testing has previously been used for BMS sourced from third countries and processed in Vietnam. However, this will no longer be an option. In the absence of sampling and testing as an option for third country processed BMS, MPI has recently completed negotiations with Vietnam on a new official certificate that will allow this trade to continue. Please make sure to check the notice to see if you need to get an official certificate for your food safety clearance.
Lastly, tahini and sesame paste products have been updated in the new notice in Part 10. There are some significant changes in the new notice that importers of these products need to be aware of. We've clearly described the products that the part applies to and those that it does not apply to. Examples of the products that are included are tahini, sesame paste, halva, hummus, and baba ganoush. This helps you know what products require food safety clearance and which don't. We've included 3 different clearance options for this HRI, where previously there had only been one option for clearance. And the notice provides information on the sampling and testing process, as well as frequency of sampling levels. These are significant changes, so we will now discuss them in more detail.
The updated notice provides 3 options for clearance. Option 1, the use of an official certificate. We do not currently have any official certification arrangements with other countries, but this gives us the option to agree to official certificates in future. Option 2, sourcing products from a Global Food Safety Initiative, or GFSI, recognized certified supplier, and sampling and testing of consignments at a specified rate. To use this option, importers will need to submit GFSI recognized certificates to MPI and obtain a confirmation letter. Sampling and testing of consignments will also be carried out. We will provide more information about how importers can obtain a confirmation letter from MPI to utilize option 2 later this year. Option 3, sampling and testing consignments at a higher rate than option 2. More information about the sampling and testing frequencies can be found in Schedule 2, Rules on Frequency of Sampling and Testing under the Food Notice.
The current food notice will remain in force until the 31st of January 2027. The new food notice will then come into effect on the 1st of February 2027. From this date, all registered food importers must comply with the import requirements specified in the new food notice, including those changes mentioned today. I've just covered the key updates and changes in the new notice, but if you have further questions, you can contact our Food Importer Advice team. If we can't answer your question, we can help connect you with the right team. Additionally, MPI's Food Importer News is our regular e-newsletter for food importers, agents, and food businesses, providing updates about the rules for importing food under the Food Act 2014. Food Importer News will help keep you informed on food importer responsibilities, upcoming changes to food requirements, and current events such as recalls relating to imported food. To sign up, head to the Food Importer News page on the MPI website. We will also continue to update you of the implementation changes through our newsletter and other sources, such as when the HRI pages on our website have been updated with the information from the new notice, and when more information such as the GFSI recognized certificate process are ready to view. That brings us to the end of today's webinar. We hope this session has helped you understand the changes in the new food notice and what this may mean for your business or a business that you support.
We appreciate your time today. Ngā mihi and enjoy the rest of your day.